Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and gives this video a thumbs up. Joan Vassos and Chalk Chapel from the Golden Bachelorette have struggled to find a shared apartment, but Joan's latest behavior may indicate a move to Chalk's hometown. Joan and Chalk found love through the dating competition, and their chemistry was clear on their first date. Their bond grew stronger throughout filming, and at the end of the Golden Bachelorette Season 1, Joan's decision appeared clear. Joan was confident in her final decision. The leading lady gave Chalk the final rose, and he proposed. The happy couple has been enjoying their engagement ever since. While Joan and Chalk appear to be ready for the commitment of living together, neither wants to leave their hometowns. The couple has highlighted the importance of family and intends to stay close to their support systems. Joan and Chalk, on the other hand, are always traveling to see one another. Joan has been quite accommodating, paying monthly visits to Chalk's Kansas apartment. The Golden Bachelorette alums may be tempted to move in with Chalk as they work on improving their relationship. Joan and Chalk have used every chance to spend quality time together. The couple spend important holidays, such as Thanksgiving and Christmas, assembling and moving their families for shared celebrations. They've introduced their loved ones and fostered long-lasting relationships. Joan has been donating, but she mostly visits Chalk in Wichita. The happy couple spent the weekend in Chalk's hometown prior to their sponsored vacation to Punta Cana. Joan and Chalk published an Instagram post that showed Joan enjoying some of her favorite Wichita activities, such as shopping, spas, and the theater. She seemed pleased to share these special moments with her fiancé. Wichita appears to have become attached to the aspiring influencer, and she may be persuaded to stay. Joan frequently visits Chalk's hometown, although Chalk rarely travels to her hometown of Rockville, Maryland. This discrepancy is unsurprising given that Chalk has developed an empire in Wichita. Chalk has been in the insurance industry for over 20 years and, according to his LinkedIn profile, founded his insurance agency, Insurance Services Group, in Wichita after selling the rights to CIG. Chalk owned and ran CIG for 16 years. Chalk is not only connected to Kansas through his business, but the insurance executive has also owned many properties in the area. Chalk owns 3 properties, a ranch-style property as his permanent abode, a Tudor-style mansion that houses his ex-wife, and a lakefront duplex in Oklahoma. Chalk has no reason to leave the area because his company and possessions are strongly anchored in Wichita. Joan appears to grasp this, since she meets his wants by traveling to him. Joan has made countless sacrifices for the relationship, and she may not stop at relocation. The couple enjoys their time together and hopes to move into a more permanent residence shortly. Joan and Chalk have discussed the wedding, and while they are optimistic about their future, they want to take more time to settle into their relationship and become acquainted with one another's habits and requirements. This could be tough when they are hundreds of miles away. Joan's constant trips indicate that she is willing to adjust to Chalk's demands. His connection to Kansas may make relocation more difficult for the business owner. Joan seemed to be ready to commit. The first couple on the Golden Bachelorette will surely do what is best for their relationship. Joan Vassos and Chalk Chapel's love story captivated viewers when the Golden Bachelorette premiered its inaugural season. From their very first date, their connection felt undeniable, a spark that neither time nor circumstance could dim. As the season unfolded, viewers witnessed their romance blossom, transitioning from flirtatious banter and laughter to emotional depth and heartfelt vulnerability. By the time Joan stood on that final platform with the final rose in hand, her heart knew exactly where it belonged, with Chalk. When Chalk got down on one knee and proposed, it wasn't just a culmination of weeks of romance in front of the cameras, it was the beginning of a new chapter in both their lives. One filled with hope, joy, and, as it turns out, logistical complications. Despite the fairy tale ending and their unwavering commitment, Joan and Chalk have faced one persistent roadblock: where to live. While love may conquer all in the movies, in real life, choosing between Rockville, Maryland, and Wichita, Kansas, is more complicated than it sounds. Each has strong roots in their respective cities, Joan with her children, grandchildren, and long-standing social circle in Rockville, Chalk with his business empire, investments, and extended family in Wichita. Initially, the couple assumed they would find a compromise. But weeks turned into months, and they still hadn't chosen a shared home base. In the meantime, they navigated a bicoastal love story, meeting as often as possible. Joan, ever gracious and flexible, quickly became the frequent flyer in the relationship, jetting to Wichita at least once a month. She's taken to Kansas life surprisingly well. On social media, Joan often shares photos of her time in Wichita, brunches at quaint cafes, strolls through downtown, spa days at local resorts, and evenings at the theater. It's clear that she's not just visiting Chalk, she's genuinely engaging with his world. Over time, these visits have felt less like temporary escapes and more like trial runs for a new lifestyle. There have been subtle but significant signs that Joan may be preparing for a permanent move. During a recent Instagram Live, she casually mentioned getting used to the pace of Wichita life and described how she developed favorite places and routines. She even referenced the local yoga studio she's been frequenting, a far cry from the bustling fitness classes she once attended in Rockville. More telling, however, was her weekend with Chalk just before their sponsored trip to Punta Cana. Instead of focusing on the upcoming vacation, Joan seemed far more excited about sharing a slice of her Kansas life, something she described with surprising affection. Their joint post featured Joan dressed down in jeans and boots, standing beside Chalk in front of a sprawling farmer's market, smiling with a local vendor. In another clip, Joan walked through a neighborhood she referred to as cozy and walkable, speculating out loud, "I could see myself here." It was offhand, said with a laugh, but longtime followers of the couple took notice. Chalk, meanwhile, has remained steadfast in his Kansas roots, and it's understandable why. For over 20 years, he's been entrenched in Wichita's business and real estate scene. After selling the rights to CIG, he founded Insurance Services Group, a successful agency that now employs dozens of locals. His LinkedIn reflects an extensive history of board memberships, charitable work, and mentorship programs based in Wichita. Simply put, his professional identity is woven into the city's fabric. Beyond work, Chalk's property portfolio is impressive. His ranch-style home has been his sanctuary for years, offering comfort and privacy. His Tudor-style mansion, now occupied by his ex-wife, and a lakeside duplex in Oklahoma further emphasize how invested he is in the area. For a man who values stability, legacy, and long-term investment, the thought of relocating at this stage of life seems unlikely. Joan, pragmatic as ever, appears to have accepted this, and adjusted accordingly. But the decision to slowly inch toward Kansas hasn't come without internal conflict for Joan. Thanks for watching. If you likes this video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and do not miss any update.